Hi everyone, it's Lauren. I am so excited to be here to share with you another clay project. In your kit today, you should have received the following things. A piece of paper with a heart drawn on it, a bag with some clay, a toothpick, and a really thin piece of wire. Now this is a special kind of wire that can go in the kiln, so it's really important that we only use this kind when I do my firings. But this can withstand really, really high temperatures, so we're gonna use this for our project too. So today what we're gonna be making are this size, but they're gonna be hearts that you can like hang decor on your wall. You could even put it on your tree or something, but I think it'd be really cute as like a wall hanging. So we'll have like a little metal piece connecting the top so you can hang it on your wall. So today for our clay stuff, we're gonna be doing hand building, and we're trying to be primarily making coils. Now coils are really a lot of fun to do. It is important when you do hand building that you don't handle your clay too much, because the more you play with it with your hands, the drier your clay gets. You might see some cracks in your clay. So you really don't want to play with it too much, but obviously we need to use our hands to roll it out. Now, in addition to what's in your packet, what you'll need from your house is some vinegar. You could do apple cider or white vinegar, and we're gonna use this wherever we join our pieces of clay together, because vinegar acts really neat with clay. When it touches the clay, it starts to eat it away. So as it dries, it fuses it together really, really strong. So we're gonna be using vinegar as our attachment piece. And then if you want a paintbrush to paint on the vinegar, or you can use your hands, it doesn't matter. I use my fingers all the time to do that. So here, let's get started. I'm gonna move my camera down so you can see what I'm doing this whole time and kind of how we're gonna build this heart, which is gonna be really, really special. So the first thing you wanna do is open up your bag and get out clay. Now, we are not using the whole thing at once. So what I'm gonna ask you to do is just rip off tiny pieces of clay. You can see this isn't that large, right? And I'm gonna take this, and before I roll it into a coil, I'm just gonna squeeze it so it's kind of the shape. So like a long piece, right? So it's not perfect right now, but it's kind of getting into that coil shape before we even roll it on our surface. Now, this is really important for this project. Do not make your coils thinner than your pinky. You really want to aim for like the same thickness, but try not to go thinner, because once we build our heart, we're going to be smoothing the whole back. So we want to make sure there's enough clay there so that the clay can really, really smooth good to join everything together really, really strong for the back of our piece. So don't make it too thin. So really the size of your finger is perfect. All right, let's turn our camera down now. Okay, so you can see I have here my heart. I have some coil pieces that I've already made in my vinegar. So what I'm gonna do is take that piece that we just kind of rolled out with our fingers, kind of squished out, and I'm gonna roll. Now, when I roll my clay, I'm pressing the top of my palm into my fingers, and I'm pressing really lightly. Can you see that? And I wanna lift my hand up every once in a while and kind of check, make sure it's not going flat on one side. So I'm gonna roll, and see how I spread my fingers sometimes too when I roll it? That kind of helps me just make sure that I'm getting all the parts of my clay and I'm not just pressing in one part too much. Now, when you roll out your coil, sometimes on the ends, you can kind of see how it has like that little hole in the end? We want to get rid of that because air could get trapped in there. So that's when our toothpick comes in handy. You're just gonna do that and just cut off the end, that little piece. And now we're gonna decide how we wanna fill in our heart. Now, you could just do one long coil and keep doing rows and rows and rows of that coil inside your heart, or you can mix it up and do some fun ones. Like I made this spiral. I'm gonna show you how to make that right now. So I'm gonna take this coil that I just rolled, and I'm gonna take some vinegar and paint some along the top. And then I'm gonna take my coil and I'm gonna slowly roll it, kind of like I'm making a cinnamon roll almost, it kind of looks like. So I'm just gonna roll that on itself. See that? Oh yeah. Perfect. We have a little coil. Other things you could totally use, you could make like little beaded balls to fill in your heart, or you could just have some straight plain coils. Now let me show you what the next step is. I'm gonna slowly be putting my pieces that I make, my different coils, into my heart, kind of like a puzzle almost, right? So I made these 2 coils. I really wanted to use them for the top of my heart. And I'll use that one that I just made, maybe like right below that. Okay, so I'm just kind of piecing it together before I start to add my vinegar. And maybe, yeah, I'll probably put some circles, my little beads in here around my sides. Yeah, that's cute. Okay. So I'm kind of building that in. And then I could take some plain ones that I made. Ooh, maybe I'm gonna use this for the bottom of my heart, like for the outside edge, right? So then I would still wanna make some other pieces that will fill in there. So you can kind of see how it's starting to shape together. And if I wanted to make little coils, all I would do is take some of my clay and just roll it between my fingers and make some little clay balls, but I could add those in. Now, once I've kind of figured out how I'm gonna piece this together, then comes the part that I wanna make sure I do correctly. I wanna have vinegar everywhere I'm gonna touch my coils together, okay? Because that really creates that strong bond, right? So I'm gonna paint some where they're gonna join. Okay, I'm kind of painting some of that vinegar in there, right? And I'm kind of putting my pieces, there's that ball, there's these ones. Okay, let's do some on this side too. Okay, and I really want to make sure I've kind of, whoops, added that vinegar where I need to connect my stuff. So right here. And obviously you can tell I need to make some more pieces to fill in my heart still. But you kind of get the gist of what I'm doing here. I'm just taking little coiled pieces and I'm kind of filling it in. So see, you can kind of see my heart that I've made so far. Now we're gonna make pretend that I filled all these little pieces in, all this white space inside my heart. This is the next step, and this is really, really important. We're using our best tool we have, which is our fingers, and I'm gonna take it, and because this is the back of my piece, I'm gonna smooth all of my coil work together. So I'm just taking my finger and I'm kind of pressing and smoothing that so it becomes like one big piece on the back. This is also gonna make our piece a lot stronger. And we're not gonna see this side. We're gonna be seeing the side that's down on the paper. But this will help our piece kind of fuse together a little bit better, so it'll be stronger when it fires. And it'll give us a nice flat back to hang up against the wall. Okay, so we're gonna make pretend I had all my pieces in here and that I smoothed this out. Notice I'm doing my fingers all different ways. I'm not just all going in one direction, and that'll really help the clay kind of join together better. Okay, so we're gonna make pretend. I'm gonna pick this up. Now, obviously, again, I'm gonna have some white spaces, but that's okay. You'll still get the idea of what I was doing. So when I've smoothed my whole back, I'm gonna lift it off. And look, I can still see that really awesome design on the front. And then this is where you're gonna come into play with your piece of wire. Now you're gonna take your wire and you're just gonna bend it over your finger. Okay, and if you need to trim this a little bit, which I might a smidge, you can trim it. So I'm making kind of like this hook shape, okay? And I'm gonna stick it into the top of my piece. So I have like a little area to hang it from. Can you see that? And then when this all dries, I'm gonna take them back and I'm gonna glaze them red. So I'm gonna use my shiny red glaze and you'll have a nice hanging piece for in your home. It's a lot of fun. I think you're gonna really enjoy making this. There's a lot of room to kind of make it your own and creative. You can do all different types of coils too. You could do straight lines. You could do just all dots. That would be pretty cool looking. You could do swirls everywhere. There's so many choices. So I hope you have fun with this project. I can't wait to see them all finished. And yeah, take care and happy clay. Bye everybody.